nearlydanish.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Okay. So we're actually going to be doing the previous test that was just taken. But before that, I want to talk a little bit about the last session. So in May 2024, so the test that was taken in May 2024, the pass rate from the group was 74.6%. So in the group, about 591 people took the test and 441 of them actually passed. Whereas the overall pass rate for the test was 52%. So when you actually take the pass rate for everyone that took the test in the country. Now, why is that? And could this be you? The answer is yes, it could be you, but why is that? And the reason, sorry, before I get to the why, the goal for this session, right, is to get to 100% pass rate. I know it's an audacious goal, but you know, we set a big goal and hopefully we hit it. And that's where you guys come in. Okay? How do you pass the test? Okay? Everyone has their way, you know, everybody has their way of doing things. This is the way I've been promoting for the last 5 years. So I started doing these training sessions about 5 years ago. That was when I actually took the test in 2019. And I will read it out. I know you guys can read, but I will read it out. It says, the secret sauce to passing the test is this. Get familiar with the questions. Make sure you go through all the quizzes more than once until you're consistently scoring 80% and above. Then rinse and repeat. Reading the book becomes easier as you go through the quizzes and vice versa. Okay? In the end, you'll be surprised that you know more about Denmark than your home country. This has happened to me. It's happened to a whole bunch of other people. And it will probably happen to you. Okay? With that said, let's get the show on the road. I will be showing you some things as we go through the Kahoots. I'll be explaining some things, you know, the way, anyways, let's just start. I don't want to talk too much. Okay, so I can see that 38 people got this question wrong. Okay, so this is one of the most frequently asked questions. And when I say frequently asked questions, what does that mean? It means that this question has appeared in more than one test. 1 second, let me turn off annotations because I forgot to do that. And people are already drawing on this. Okay. So, this is one of the questions that you must know the answer to. The way you learn is to make mistakes. Okay, so the whole system has been set up so that you learn by making mistakes. You come here, you figure out what you don't know, and then you fix that later on. Okay, and you do this repeatedly. And at some point, you're going to figure out that you have a database of about 2,000 to 3,000 questions in your head with their answers. All right. This question is about Grundloven, the Constitution. And it came into force in 1849. This is a very important date, arguably the most important date in, well, Danish democratic history. All right, we're moving on to the next one. Okay, so Adi Claudio, I didn't actually know you were here, but welcome back. Round of applause to Adi Claudio. Okay. So Adi Claudio is actually from the previous batch. I'm surprised. Well, okay, I'm not surprised to see him here, but welcome back. He scored 100%. He got 45 out of 45 questions correct. He actually, I remember when he started, he wasn't doing too well. And in the end, you know, he got the best score. So this could be you. Moving on to the next one. All right. I can see this is a weak spot for 73 people. Not to worry. This is the first day. We still have about 90 days. Okay. If you're not doing well, okay, I'll repeat this. If you are not doing well, and if you don't do well today, do not feel bad. Okay. You're just here to figure out your weak spots. Once you figure out your weak spots, which one of for 73 people, this is a weak spot. You go back and you plug this knowledge gap. Okay, this is about the landslide elections that happened in 1973, where a bunch of protest parties were voted into Folketing, the parliament. And this is a frequently asked questions. I'm sorry, frequently asked question. And by frequently asked, I mean a question that has shown up in more than one test. This has shown up in about 5 tests. I will be going into a bit more depth about FAQs as we progress. But I don't want to, you know, overspeak here. All right, on to the next one. Okay, someone is asking about the book. I will talk about that. And someone is asking about Melba Escape's poem, and I will talk about that after this. Okay, so let me answer 2 questions. This is INDFØDSRETSPRØVEN pawn, and we will be doing Melba Escape's pawn right after this. Okay? However, if you are practicing for Melba Escape's pawn, I highly recommend that you also participate in the INDFØDSRETS pawn, because if you can do well in this, then you're definitely going to ace the other one. Okay? Now, about the book. There is a new book. However, only very minor things were changed in the book. I will be talking about that later. What else? Someone else asked the question. Let me see. Yes, that's it. We're moving on. And yes, so that question was about what happened with the Danish government in World War II. So the Nazis invaded Denmark, and unlike the other countries, they did not overthrow the government. They said that they wanted to work in partnership with the government. However, that partnership ended in 1943. All right, moving on to the next one. I will share the link to the new book. Don't worry. Look, don't worry about any of that, okay? You're going to get all the information that you need to pass the test. So don't worry about any of that stuff. You will get everything. The new book, questions, tips, everything. So don't worry about it, okay? Just sit tight and participate in the Kahoot. All right. So this question is about where majority of the population used to work before the Industrial Revolution in Denmark. And, well, most people were working as farmers. All right. There's not much else to be said about this. Next one. As you can see, a lot of the questions have been about events that happened. You will be seeing more of this trend as you participate and as you take the quizzes. Okay, so we are question number 5 now. We have Adi Claudio at number 1, BMW at number 2. So those are 2 familiar names. I know Adi Claudio, I know BMW. We've got Len, 84, that's new, Leo, 5, and Milad at 6. 45 players have reached an answer streak of 4.
Excellent.
All right, moving on to the next one. Tint, tint. The Melbourne Escapes pawn starts after this. So just hang in there and participate, okay? So this is the Zoom. It's not a different one. All right, so in Denmark, in the constitution, power is split 3 ways between the government, the courts, and the parliament. And this question is asking about that power. So it's the legislative power, executive power, and the judiciary. I'm translating all of this to English. I know a lot of people ask, why is he speaking English? It's the Danish citizenship test. Well, English is the language I'm more comfortable speaking. I can speak Danish, obviously, because I'm a Danish citizen now, and I had to take this test just like you all. But I'm more comfortable speaking English, and sorry about that. And you're still gonna pass the test, okay? So don't worry about that. Next one. RAJ has hit an answer streak of 5. Next one. Okay, so this question is about the current government and the election that happened in 2022. And for the first time in a very long time, Denmark has a majority government. Most of the governments after World War II have been minority governments. However, Denmark, for the first time in a very long time, now has a majority government, and it's made up of the Social Democrats, Venstre, and Moderaterne. This is a weak spot for 77 people.
Now you know what you don't know.
Okay? You're going to hear that a lot. You're going to hear, now you know what you don't know. You're going to hear me say that a lot. Because like I said, the goal of these Kahoots is for you to come and figure out your weak spots. Do not feel bad if you don't do well. Do not feel bad if you don't pass these Kahoots. The point is for you to come here, figure out what you don't know, go, plug it, come back. I'm going to keep testing you, okay? I just explained the meaning of the question. Okay, 32 players just hits an answer streak of 6.
Excellent.
Next one. I just gave away the answer to this, if you guys were listening to what I was saying. But let's see who was listening and who wasn't. Okay, so I can see 69 people were not listening to what I was saying. I was talking about majority of the governments since World War II have been minority governments. However, this current government is a majority government, and it's made up of the Social Democrats, Venstre, and Moderaterne. And for the person that was asking me about the meaning of the question, that's the meaning of the question. The question was asking about which political parties form the current government. All right, next one. 8 players just dropped their answer streak of 3. Sorry, guys. Where is this thing? Yes, here we go. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is a frequently asked question. Okay, round of applause to you guys. Okay, so 145 people got this right. That's really good. For
Excellent.
the 38 people that got this wrong, this is a frequently asked question. So the question is asking, can the Prime Minister appoint a minister that is not a member of Parliament? And yes, the Prime Minister can. However, the norm is that the ministers are usually members of Parliament. There was an example of someone that was not a member of Parliament that was appointed a minister was Tommy Allers. And I think, I can't remember what year it was, but that was recently. However, if you are not a member of Parliament, you cannot vote when there are elections within, like, for instance, you need like the parties need to vote for different laws. So you cannot vote. So that's the only restriction. On to the next one. Okay, so VB is the highest climber,
Great job.
up 17 places. That's a lot. Next one.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so this is I think, has this question shown up before? Anyways, so in this test, okay, the test is a mixture of frequently asked questions, and by that I mean questions that have shown up in more than one test and questions that have never been asked before. And the pattern is that a lot of the new questions come from chapter 5. And this is an example of one of those questions. This is from chapter 5, the literature section. And it's asking about Inga Christensen. And is it a he or a she? I think it's a she. And what she was. She was a poet here. So it's a simple, straightforward question. All right. I just wanted to show you guys something. So after this session, there will be, I will create your profiles on the website. Now, how do you find your profile? You go to nearlydanish.com, scroll down to Kahoot, and you click on players. Okay. When you click on players, you see the screen, it says crunching the numbers. Why is it that whenever I'm showing this thing, it doesn't work? Anyways, okay, yes. So the table pops up and you see names there. Okay. So just search for your name. Your name will be in this list somewhere. So for instance, I will search for Adi Claudio. By the way, these are people that took the previous test. And as you can see, Adi Claudio was in the Gold League top 5. This guy puts in a lot of work. Anyways, find your name, click on it, and it will show you your profile. Okay. Now on your profile, it shows you progress. Once this loads up, it will show you progress. How prepared are you? And what you need to do to keep on making progress. And you have basically all the quizzes, chapter 1 to chapter 6. You've got the most frequently asked questions, Danish values, current affairs, mock tests, previous exams for both INDFØDSRETSPRØVEN and Melbourne Escapes Porn. And you also have this thing called the 14-day challenge. So if you want to complete all of these in 14 days, you can click on that button and do that. You can see Adi Claudio actually completed all of this. And to complete all of this, you have to do all of the quizzes in these things 8 times. So this guy put in a heck of a lot of work. He had a 67-day streak. So he went for 67 straight days practicing on this website. And he got 100%. And he's back here again. So that could be you. Next one. Okay, so let me see. Matador. Have they asked about Matador before? Yes, they have. So this is the second time that a question about Matador showed up in the tests. This is also from chapter 5. Remember what I said? Chapter 5 is a very important chapter because it's a source of new questions. So please pay very close attention to chapter 5. I'll show you something else. I have also created a section for people in the book. Okay, so it basically shows you all the people mentioned in the book, chapter by chapter. Okay, and with pictures, with descriptions. It's in English, so if you need it in Danish, just do Google Translate. But chapter 5, you can find all the people here as well. And I'm working on some other features where the questions will be attached to those people. You can see that for everybody, basically, okay? And there also is a timeline feature. Where's the timeline? Here, where you can see a timeline starting from chapter 1 all up until the end. I'm still working on this, and this will be a work in progress. You will be seeing all the progress as we go, okay? So all of this is here for you. All right, moving on to the next one. All right, round of applause. All right, no more talking. Let's just try to get through this quickly because we're already delayed a bit. Oh, wow. Wow. Round of applause. Okay, I'm actually quite surprised. I wasn't expecting this. Well done.
Great job.
For the one person that got this wrong, now you know what you don't know.
Now you know what you don't know.
Next one. All right, so we have Navi, BMW, Leo, Milad, and Olga. And Kim back in the game with 3 in a row.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Next one. Okay, so Maria just asked a question. Okay, so someone just asked, how much does subscription to this website cost? This website is completely free. There's no subscription. All you have to do is come and participate in a Kahoot and you will get a profile and you have access to everything. All right, next one. Okay, so this is a weak spot for 77 people again. Wait, is my math right? Yes, 77 people. Okay, so there's usually questions about the responsibilities of the commune, the state, and the regions. Go to the part of the book that talks about that and make a list of those responsibilities because they could ask about any one of them. In this case, well, focus goal is the commune's responsibility, the hospitals is the region's responsibility, and the courts is the state's responsibility. Next one. Okay, so Queen Margaret II, who used to be the Queen of Denmark, was actually crowned in 1972. And she was crowned 1 year before Denmark joined the EU. That was 1973, 1 year before the landslide elections, 1 year before abortion became legal. So a whole bunch of stuff happened in 1973. And just before that, the Queen, that was the first, no, actually, she wasn't the first queen. She was Margaret II. So, yeah, Margaret II became queen. She's no longer queen now because she abdicated, and we have King Frederick X. On to the next one. We have a static top 5.
Static top 5.
BMW, Navi, Leo, Milad, and Teddy. Mahi is the highest climber, up 16 places.
Excellent.
Next one. We start Melbo Escapes Pawn right after this. So usually we start at 8. It usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour, and then we start Melbo Escapes Pawn afterwards. The early sessions are a bit longer because I explain things, you know, as we get more and more into the sessions, maybe by week 4. These will be really quickly because I don't need to explain a lot of things because you guys will already know a lot of those things. Right now, we're still, you know, figuring out people's weak spots. I'm explaining the basics so that you're not confused. And also, by the way, this is a good time to ask a whole bunch of questions because as time goes on, I'm not going to be answering too many questions during the sessions. All right. This is Knud Rasmussen, and he was a polar explorer. I think this is from chapter 5, if I'm not mistaken, right? And let me see, can I find him here? Nah, okay, so this is, I think, chapter 6. Yes. Shit, wait. Yes, there he is. So all of these people are mentioned. All the people mentioned in the book are here. You can see pictures of them. You can see the little story about them. I'm going to be attaching. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make quizzes about every single one of these people with questions that have appeared in all the tests. So by the time you guys are done, you're going to know all these people. And you're going to know about all the events as well. Okay, so hold on tight. It's going to be a fun ride, I hope. Next one. This is a question about another person. Okay, guys, remember, if you're not doing well, please do not despair, do not feel bad. P.S. Koya is one of the famous painters from Skagen. This is a frequently asked question. It has appeared in at least 5 tests, okay? I was gonna say something. Forgotten. Anyways, moving on. Next one. Brand new question. All right, round of applause. So this was a question that had never appeared before in any previous test. This is a brand new question. This was from chapter 6. A whole new section was actually added to chapter 6, and that's Denmark's tourist attractions. H.C. Andersen's house in Odense is one of them, or is one of the attractions that's mentioned there. There's many others. Next one. BMW is holding that spot. This was a combo breaker. 3 players dropped their answer streak of 3. We're almost halfway through. Yes, this is another question, brand new, never been asked before, from chapter 6 as well. Also from Danish tourist attractions. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm actually quite surprised a lot of people did well. Round of applause. Okay, guys, just I just wanted to mention, usually you'll be able to find your name in this list within an hour. But please give me until tomorrow, okay? Because I'm exhausted. I'm gonna do the import probably first thing tomorrow, so please check back tomorrow, okay? Thank you. Next one. This is a frequently asked question. Oh, wow. I'm surprised this many people got this wrong. So how many people got this wrong? 91. Okay. All right, almost half of you got this wrong. This is a frequently asked question. So after the Second Schleswig War in 1864, Denmark lost Sønderjylland. Then after World War I, Denmark reunited with Sønderjylland. This question shows up a lot. Shown up at least in 4 or 5 tests, and it showed up again here. So it could show up in the next test. So for the people that got this wrong,
Now you know what you don't know.
now you know what you don't know. Plug this knowledge gap. It is important. All right, next one. Yes, this is the first Kahoot for the next exam. So we do these Kahoots twice a week. Once on Wednesday and once on Sunday. Same time, 8 p.m. Yes, so in the Middle Ages, there were a lot of churches built in Denmark. What was happening then? I think the Catholic Church was spreading a lot in Denmark between 1050 and the 1500s. And in 1520, that was when Martin Luther's ideas started spreading. And there was a war, and Denmark became a Protestant country with the king as the head of the church. All right, so 47 people got this wrong. Get it right next time. We have a static top 5.
Static top 5.
Next one. This is literally the first, actually no, this is chapter 1. The second section, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so 151 people got this right. Round of applause. Thirty-seven people got this wrong. You can actually find this Where are those people? Here. So if you look in chapter 1, yep, Odin Freya Tor. I think that question was, yes, there you go. Okay, next one. So this question has appeared 2 times. So this is the second time this question appeared. So it's now gone into the league of FAQs. And let me just show you. So on your profile, you see this thing called most frequently asked questions. You click on that and you will see there's part 1, 2, 3, 4. There's about 200 most frequently asked questions. When you click on it, it will show you the question and the number of tests it has appeared in. So this question has appeared in 12 tests, actually 13 tests, because it showed up in this test that we're doing. I just gave you guys the answer. Well, I haven't given you the answer. If you know the answer, then you know. And if you go through the frequently asked question test, it'll always show you the stats of how many tests a question has shown up in before. Okay. And those are the most, well, arguably not the most important, but the ones that have the highest probability of showing up in the next test. And we will have Kahoot sessions in that as well. Okay, next one. All right, so Grundlov is the constitution for the Faroe Islands and Greenland. The Faroe Islands and Greenland are in Rigsfællesskab, so the Danish Commonwealth. So Denmark, the Faroe Islands, and Greenland are in Rigsfællesskab, and that is a frequently asked question. You're definitely going to see that as we go on. All right, I think we are past the halfway point now. What on earth? Okay, someone is asking, how many mistakes are you allowed? I'll explain. All right, 74 people got this wrong. So the question is about the symbol on Greenland's flag. So Greenland has a circle in the middle of its flag. Sometimes they ask about the symbol on Greenland's flag, Denmark's flag, or the Faroe Islands flag. So for Denmark's flag, it's a cross. For Faroe Islands, it's a cross. For Greenland, it's a circle. All right, next one. RCB114 is back with an answer streak of 3.
Oh my! He's on fire!
Next one. All right, round of applause. So this question is about the Paris Agreement from 2015, and that is the agreement to reduce greenhouse gases. All right, someone asked about the number of mistakes you're allowed to make. So to pass, okay, the test is 45 questions. 35 of those questions are from the book, so history, okay? 5 of those questions are current affairs, and those current affairs questions follow a certain pattern. I will be talking about that pattern as we go on. And another 5 questions are Danish values questions. Now, to pass the test, you need to score at least 36 out of 45 questions correct, out of which you have to get at least 4 Danish values questions right. So if you actually score 43 out of 45 and you failed 2 Danish values questions, you failed the whole test. So Danish values questions are very important. Okay, we will have a session focusing on that. I have a video on the YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel. I'll show it to you just now. That's actually one of the most popular videos. It's called Nearly Danish TV. And you just go to videos, click on popular, and watch this video. Okay, so I go into a lot of depth talking about how to approach the Danish values questions, because that's the tricky part. Okay, those are the questions that, you know, you could do really well on current affairs and history, and you mess up 2 of those. I know people that happened to. So please pay very close attention to this video and come to the session for Danish values when we have it. All right, where was this thing? Okay, here we go. Next one. Yes, you can get all of them, all answers wrong in current affairs without any consequences. So if you get all answers right in history and all answers right in Danish values, that means you got 40 out of 45 if you failed all the current affairs. So current affairs, you know, you can fail more than one, you can fail all of them, it doesn't matter, but you need to score at least 36 out of 45, out of which 4 of them should be Danish values. Okay, I hope that made sense. Fish is back in the game with 3 in a row.
Excellent.
Next one. Natalia, so we have 2 sessions a week. So we have 2 of these sessions a week. Okay, so let me just repeat. So we have 2 sessions a week, one on Wednesday and one on Friday, 8 p.m. So it's Wednesday, Friday, same time, 8 p.m. If you are in the Facebook group, I will always make an announcement for the next session. If you're not in the Facebook group and you came here from Meetup, I will also always make an announcement there. If you came from Meetup and you have an account, a Facebook account, please join the Facebook group. It's called Danish Citizenship Test. All right, moving on to the next one. Wait, Wednesday and Sunday. Wednesday and Sunday, not Friday. Wednesday and Sunday. All right, next one. No, it's not a repeat session. So it's all new sessions, okay? If you miss a session, you can catch it on YouTube. Like I showed you before, right? I record all these sessions and I put them up, okay? You can see all the previous sessions we've had over the years. So this is from 2022, 2023, la-di-da-di-da. They're all here. I think, wait, let me see. Yes, so this is summer 2024. Melbourne then Infosatspålen. This is 2023, this is 2022. So I record all these sessions and I upload them. So if you happen to miss a session, you can always catch up. Next one. right, round of applause. This is about the International Women's Day. 7 players reached an answer streak of 9. We have BMW, Leo, Adi, Claudia, Milad, and Anna. Next one. This is a frequently asked question as well. All right, round of applause. Right, Anissa just got 3 in a row, and she's on fire.
She's on fire.
Okay, next one. Okay, so this question is about the war in Iraq, and Denmark sent some soldiers. Okay, so we have Leo, Adi, Claudio, Milad, BMW, and Theo Bests. All right, we're coming to the end of this. I have about 13 questions to go. This is a FAQ. So, for frequently asked questions, I'm not sure what you mean, Christina. The wrong ones too? I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah, 15 from the age of 15, you start getting tried as an adult if you commit a crime in Denmark. Next one. The wrong one. No, I'm confused. I don't know how to answer that question. Anyways, we're moving on to the next one. Brand new question. Okay, so this is a brand new question. This is from chapter 2, I think. Anyways, can't remember exactly. So in Denmark, you're not allowed to, parents are not allowed to hit their kids, and teachers are not allowed to hit the students. And this had never been asked before, and it was asked this time. Like I said before, the exam is a mixture of questions that have been asked before and questions that have never been asked before. I will, in one of the sessions, I will actually show you a trend on how it moves and why the test is actually getting more and more difficult, because up until about 2021, if you practiced with all the previous exams, you would pass the test. Now, you can't do that. So it's getting more and more important to practice all the previous exams, read the book and practice all the quizzes, okay? And if you do that, you're going to pass. Next one. FAQ as well. Okay, so this is a frequently asked question. In the middle of the 1800s, most farmers voted for Venstre. And that has actually continued. So in the modern day and age, most farmers still vote for Venstre. Well, there's not that many because a lot of farming here has been mechanized, but most business people vote for Venstre, and most people that work in the government vote for the Social Democrats. How many people got this wrong? 95 people got, wow, more than half of you got this wrong. Well,
Now you know what you don't know.
plug that knowledge gap. That isn't a frequently asked question. Okay, so 4 players just hit an answer streak of 34. Wow. I think that's a perfect score.
Perfect score.
All right, next one. Answer streak means that you've gotten a certain number of answers in a row. All right, so there was a referendum in 2022, and that was about the reservations that Denmark had with the EU concerning security and defense, and those reservations were scrapped. And this was caused because of the war in Ukraine. Next one. I think that's the second time that question has shown up. This is a static top 5.
Static top 5.
All right, next one. Current affairs. So we're in the last 10 questions now. All right, so in the current affairs, the questions usually follow a certain pattern, and the questions have themes. The theme of this, so this question is about when Børsen burnt down on the 16th of April. The theme of this is a significant cultural event. In this case, you know, Børsen is one of the buildings that was built by Christian IV, and it's been around for almost 400 years, and it burnt down. So that's a significant cultural event. As soon as this happened, I knew it was going to show up in the test, and I put that down. Oh, by the way, we predicted 4 out of 5 of the current affairs questions. Okay, so this is the reason why it's important to keep coming to these sessions, because by the time, so if you, okay, let's say, for example, you come to every single one of these sessions and you do every single one of the quizzes on the website. By the time you go to the test, when you see the test, you would know the answer to at least 44 out of 45 of those questions, if not all of them. Case in point is Adi Claudio. Okay, so please keep coming. Next one. Okay, Lou is back in the game with 3 in a row. We're almost done. All right, so January 14th, if I'm not mistaken. No, sorry. In her New Year's speech in 2023, the Queen announced her abdication, and in January, she handed over the crown to the King, and he is King Frederick X. So the tradition in Denmark is, if the king is Frederick, then the first son is always Christian, and if the king is Christian, the first son is always Frederick, and that's why he's called Frederick X. Of course, there's 7th, 4th, you know. If you put 2 and 2 together, you would know that he's Frederick X. We predicted this question. So the last two questions we predicted. Let's see the third one. We have a static top 5.
Static top 5.
And sorry. Let's keep going. Okay, I'll talk about this question in a sec, but I didn't talk about the theme of the previous question. So the theme of the previous question was a significant event happening in the royal family. Okay, so that is the theme of there usually is always a question about something that happened in the royal family. And where can you get that information? So it's kongehuset.dk. Okay. And you'll see basically all the events, when he traveled, whose birthday it was, all the different events, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. So you can find that there. So have a look there. That's where I get my information about the royal family. All right. What was this about? So this one we didn't predict. This is about the warship that went to patrol the Arabic, what's it called? The Red Sea. Because of the pirates, I think. And there was some issues with the guns that they couldn't fire or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, this one we completely missed. But if you kept your eye out in the news, you would have seen this. Okay? The theme of this is something to do with Denmark's security. How many people got this wrong? 54. Most of you got this right. Round of applause. All right, last one. No, is it the last one? Yeah. So there's a list of themes. Don't worry about it. This is just the first session. We've done 642, so we have like 6 more. So we have 2 more current affairs, and then we go to Danish values. All right, so Mikkel Hansen, he arguably the best handball player in the world, announced his retirement after the Olympics. So the theme of this is actually, Danish excellence on the world stage. And within that, it's usually, some famous Danish sports star retiring, or, Denmark winning a medal or winning some major competition. The Olympics just happened, and Denmark won 2 gold medals. One in badminton. What's that guy's name? Victor Axelsen won that. And one in handball. I predict that at least one of those is going to show up on the test. All right. Moving on to the next one. Yes, we predicted this as well. So we predicted the previous one and this one. All right. So the theme of this is famous dead people, as well as leaders of political parties. Okay. So Søren Pape Poulsen was the leader of the Conservative People's Party, and he died from an aneurysm, I think, in March 2024. As soon as that happened, I was like, okay, this is definitely going to show up on the test, and it did. So I'll repeat again: famous dead people and leaders of political parties. So they mixed both of them into one, right? So they said, which party was Sunpei Paulson for up until his death in March 2024. And he was the leader of the Conservative Party up until his death. So they mixed both themes in one question. All right. We're moving on to Danish values, and then we're done for INDFØDSRETSPRØVEN for tonight. All right. So far, we have Adi Claudio. He is an old-timer. Scored a perfect score, 45 out of 45, 100% in the previous test. We've got Leo, Milad, BMW, and Theo Best. I recognize these two names. Are you guys here in the previous one before? Anyways, round of applause to the guys in the top 5. Okay, so a lot of the old timers are back again. Anyways, 3 in a row. Oxygen is back in the game.
Oh my! He's on fire!
We've got 5 questions and we're done for tonight. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this. We will have a session focusing on this, okay? I'm not going to make too many comments on this now. Let's just finish this. So you guys can go. All right. Bear in mind that you must score at least 4 out of 5 Danish values questions correctly to pass the test, as well as score at least 36 out of 45. Okay. The good news is that a lot of these questions are beginning to repeat themselves. Let me just show you quickly. So someone's profile already open. Let me see. Okay, so Danish values. Okay, so you're now beginning to see these questions repeat themselves, right? So this question had actually shown up before. So you're probably gonna, they're probably gonna repeat the questions again, at least some of them. Next one. Pirat, just do what you can, okay? It's not about what's good today, it's about what's good on the test. So figure out what you don't know, then go ahead, plug those knowledge gaps. Make sure you plugged all of them before the test. So even if you don't score, even if you get 10 out of 48 today, 2 out of 48, or 0 out of 48, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you take note of all these questions you're not getting right, okay? And you make sure you know the answers to them so that next time you see them, you get them right. All right, 35 people got this wrong. Static top 5 still. Oh, yeah, you're doing really well, man. You got 46 out of 48 right. You're doing really well. We got 2 more and we're done. All right, next one. This was a brand new one. Okay, most of you got this right. Last question, Adi Claudio still at the top. Combo breaker, 3 players dropped the answer streak of 8. Last one. Oh, wow. Round of applause. Okay. We've got Milad at number 3, Leo at number 2, and Eddie Claudio at number 1. We're gonna see the rest of you in a sec. BMW at 4 and Theo Best at 5.
NearlyDanish.com.